Do we have to go from this to interrupt the transmission of the virus? Do we have to have a kind of circuit break to normal everyday activities? A short, sharp shock to check the rising number of cases? Today, the Health Secretary confirmed it's being considered.
We are taking local action where the increases are the biggest, and of course we don't rule out further national action, but that's the last line of defence.
But are you considering that? Are you considering a national lockdown?
We constantly look at all the options, of course we do.
Today it was announced new areas will have additional restrictions from Tuesday. Merseyside, Warrington, Halton and much of Lancashire. In the Midlands, Wolverhampton, Oadby and Wigston. And in West Yorkshire, Bradford, Kirklees and Calderdale. Along with all the other areas already living under additional restrictions, that now covers 12 million people, more than 1 in 6 of the population. If there are to be new national restrictions in England, the best guide is probably what's already been happening locally. That is, no mixing of households and pubs, cafes and restaurants having to close early. It's much less likely to look like the lockdown back in March, when schools had to close and people were told to stay home and only go out for essentials like food shopping. The devolved governments will have to agree if there are to be UK-wide restrictions, and the Scottish Government seems ready.
Today, I want to give the nation advance notice that the coming days are likely to see some hard but necessary decisions. If we want to avoid another full-scale lockdown, which all of us do, doing nothing almost certainly isn't an option.
And some think we should be going further than recent local measures, closing pubs, for instance, shutting down most places of work. Susan Mickey is a behavioural expert on the government's scientific advisory group, but she's also a critic. What would she think if the government didn't lock down hard?
I would say it's irresponsible, and I would say they will be facing the same criticism as they faced first time around, when it's generally accepted that delaying by those 1 or 2 weeks cost thousands of lives. We have got the benefit of hindsight now. We do not want to repeat that mistake. We can act quickly to minimise deaths.
This afternoon, the Prime Minister was at an Oxford vaccine laboratory. One day a working vaccine could spell the end of the pandemic, but before then, there'll be many more difficult decisions. Andy Bell, 5 News.